In 1985, the MMA, MIDI Manufacturers Association, was established as a nonprofit trade organization to expand, promote, and protect MIDI technology for the benefit of artists and musicians around the world. However, because there was no official place for individuals to gather and learn more about MIDI, in 2016 the MMA launched the MIDI Association. 4 years later, this public-facing, free, global, web-based community for people who create music and art with MIDI now has over 30,000 registered individuals and continues to grow. The MIDI.org website is the central information source about all aspects of MIDI technology, from vintage gear to next-generation protocols. In May 2020, the United States Library of Congress selected MIDI.org for inclusion in their Web Archives collection of Internet materials related to professional organizations for performing arts. It's an honor that they consider the MIDI website such an important part of this historical record. Due to the growing recognition of the MIDI Association, the MMA has decided to unify the two brands under the MIDI Association name. The MMA will remain the legal entity with no changes to the MMA bylaws, but the organization will do business as the MIDI Association. The MIDI Association has two types of members. Individual membership is free to musicians, artists, educators, retail salespeople, DIY Arduino enthusiasts, DJs, game developers, and sound designers. MIDI Association individual members can download adopted MIDI specifications, receive the MIDI message newsletter, access MIDI Association tutorials and webinars, participate in forums, and enjoy all MIDI Association benefits other than those reserved for corporate members. Corporate membership is open to any commercial entity that designs, develops, or produces products that use MIDI technology, and they pay annual dues based on revenue. Members include platform developers like Apple and Microsoft, and musical instrument and software companies such as Ableton, Make Music, Motu, Native Instruments, Nectar, Roland, Roly, Steinberg, Yamaha, and many others. Corporate members develop and vote on new MIDI specifications, initiate new MIDI features, can access software tools for MIDI 2.0 product development, and apply for logo licenses trademarked by the MIDI Association. The MIDI Association corporate members continue to work closely with the Japanese MIDI Standards Committee, and all MIDI specifications must be voted on and adopted by both organizations. Once they're adopted, they're available for download on MIDI.org. The MIDI Association's new logo was designed by acclaimed performance artist Yuri Suzuki and graphic designer Sasha Loeb of Pentagram. A version of this logo and pictogram will be available for licensing by corporate members of the MIDI Association and Japan's Association of Musical Electronics Industry to clearly identify products that incorporate MIDI 2.0 features. MIDI has been connecting products and people for over 37 years, and the new MIDI 2.0 specification is once again poised to drive innovation in music and the arts, just as MIDI 1.0 did in 1984. To join the MIDI Association as either a corporate or individual member, and to find out more about the latest MIDI developments, please visit www.midi.org.